It's showtime, folks. Welcome in Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game on this Tuesday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos behind the glass. Joe, what's up, my man?
So I live like 10 minutes from here, but it takes me 30 minutes because of the airport traffic.
Yep.
I went to the gym this morning at 7. It was 49 degrees in my car. And now that I'm here, it's 61. I'm telling you, I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but that alarms me when it starts going up that fast, that quick. And we're watching Channel 5 right now in the studio. It says it's 55 degrees. It's just the wind's kicking, man.
55 and sunny in America's Music City.
Right. So it is I don't know, man. Just keep your eye to the sky today, baby, and see what happens. And as you always say, Chase, be weather aware.
Yeah, head on a swivel, all those things. But yeah, we'll keep you abreast of the situation, as I'll also like to say. So we will do that.
Why
for
do you
sure.
do that to me?
Because you're just a 12-year-old boy at heart. That's what I do.
You are correct.
We're in mock draft season. A lot of new mock drafts have come out, but also it would appear that the Minnesota Vikings are not going to use the franchise tag on Sam Darnold, which means he will be a free agent unless they get a deal done.
He ain't getting out of Minnesota. Now.
I think he might.
He ain't getting out because they know they got something coming back for one more year, maybe 2 years, and J.J. McCarthy ain't the answer. So they know what they have in Darnold. He's not getting out of Minnesota.
Oh, I think he's gonna hold his own and try and get what he can get. And if he can't get it, then he's gonna be like, okay, see ya.
He loves Kevin O'Connell.
Sure.
He loves being in Minnesota. I'm telling you, he might take a small pay cut to stay there. I just don't think he's going to. I really think Aaron Rodgers is coming here. I really do.
Maybe.
I want him to come here.
I've seen the latest in the rumors that I've seen. And, when I see these rumors, that's exactly what they are because there's usually no sourcing behind them. But, of where these quarterbacks are going to land.
Right.
So remember we talked to Arthur Smith in training camp last year, right? And I asked about Russell Wilson, and that answer turned from Russell Wilson to Justin Fields. And you and I walked away from that interview going, he really likes Justin Fields. Interesting.
That's right.
Fields, played well, I thought, when he was the starter and then Wilson took over. But now it kind of appears that Fields might stay put in Pittsburgh, be their starting quarterback, again, based on rumors, and Russell Wilson would be available. So I saw this list. Ricky sent me this list from Twitter last night. Ian Hartz, who is I have no idea who that is, but I just thought this was an interesting list because there's there's nothing behind it.
Great.
Free agent quarterback matches. I've heard from people familiar with people who may or may not have sources around the NFL.
My Lord.
Raiders, Sam Darnold. Jets, Jameis Winston. Steelers, Justin Fields. Colts, Daniel Jones. Browns, Kirk Cousins, if released. Giants, Aaron Rodgers. The two-tone blue Tennessee Titans, Russell Wilson.
Okay. God, I hate to give somebody I've never heard.
There's it's just,
All right, I'm asking you right now. I mean, we're beating this subject to death for the next 6 weeks. So let me ask you, who do you take? Chase McCabe, Bargatze calls you and says, hey, man, I want you to pick a quarterback. Who are you picking?
Bargatze.
Yeah. Barganzi. How do you say that's his name? Barganzi?
Borganzi.
He's Bargatze. He's Bargatze from now on. All right, who do you take right now? Right now.
Darnold.
Okay.
And you can hear in my voice, like, I don't love that.
Well, it sounds really reassuring.
But I think he's the safest play. He's Tannehill. He's Ryan Tannehill 2.0.
But he also had a hell of an offensive line, great receivers, good running game, and a head coach who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's coming here with none of that. You're going to pay him that money? Do it.
Yeah. I had a dream the other night that Tannehill came back.
What, to get his paycheck?
No.
Close out on his mansion?
They made like a big deal of like, we're bringing Ryan back. We're so excited. Even Amy showed up.
Did they go to the facility and have a party?
I guess. I was there. You and I both were there.
Why?
I don't know.
Did I not have anything better to do that day?
Apparently not.
All right. Wait, here's the deal. Was there food?
Yeah.
That's why
that,
I was
I think
there.
that got us.
Yeah, that was there. I know. I mean, I see what you're saying with Darnold, but I'm telling you, man, Aaron Rodgers, looking at his numbers, he had the one injury in 23. Has he been injured at all? I don't think so, right? I mean,
just the
normal
Achilles.
wear and tear, right, of a quarterback. I'm good. And maybe the front office can convince him, like, hey, man, how about come here, 2-year deal, $25 million a year, come here and do that. All right. What if he does? I'm all aboard for that thing, man. And you get a draft a quarterback, give me Jackson Dart or whoever, in the second round. Jack Dart's not going to be there, but just somebody you can build around and go for it. I think you've got to be competitive now. Let's quit looking 27, 28 to the new stadium. Fans don't want to look at 27, 20. They want to look at the now.
Yeah. And they need to look at the now. I mean, of course. And look, if you don't feel confident in this quarterback class, then don't force yourself into taking a quarterback. There's no rule that says the Tennessee Titans have to take a quarterback. I mean, generally that's what happens with the number 1 overall pick. But if they have hesitation on any of these guys, then trade back, let somebody else either hit on it or fall for it.
Yeah.
And then you go and you fill the other holes that you have. I mean, because again, just using, Aaron Rodgers, you keep bringing him up. I mean, whether it's Rodgers or Darnold or whatever, if you fix the O-line, then we're probably having a different conversation because everything changes. If you have a decent offensive line, then, I think you or I could play better quarterback, back there. But they have no offensive line.
Right.
And I don't care who you put back there right now. Like, if I'm Rodgers, if I'm Darnold, like, I don't want to get my ass kicked. But wait,
man, they got the greatest offensive line coach ever who's ever been on planet Earth.
Look,
he's the greatest.
He could be, and he probably is. God. But if you give him crap to work with, like, you can only put lipstick. No, I mean, nope. No. I've always said this. You can only put lipstick on that pig so much.
You have the greatest offensive line coach ever. I want no excuses. Why are you the greatest? Because you're able to develop people into offensive line, into great offensive linemen. So,
well, look,
we were told this, right?
He made Dylan Radins serviceable.
Exactly. Keep talking yourself into it.
No, I'm not talking myself into it, but he made him serviceable. Radins wasn't great, but he wasn't the main problem. The right tackle was the main problem.
I think he's a good, solid right guard. He could get better. Work on him with that. That's it. I like it. Look what they've done to us.
I know.
They've splintered us. And then they're all sitting over there laughing at us right now, which I don't like. I'm not a fan of it.
You think they give a rat's ass?
Kind of do, especially starting at 2:00. And
what? So you think over there, like, what is that delightful Big Joseph talking about? And that cute little Chase.
I don't think they have a clue who I am. And which is fine. I don't.
Who's the loudmouth that comes on at 2? Why does he say Chad's a backstabber? Chad, who did you backstab?
One of these days I'll fly up there and see him, but not until 2027.
This app really works well down here in Houston.
Hey, why did we not get invited to the stadium little thing they did yesterday?
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, my bad.
What do you mean? What? Come on, man.
Yeah, we did. I had something else going on. So
you got a staff here of 40. We could have all gone over.
I mean, there. I think you were on this email.
I'm not. I get no emails from them, which is fine. I don't want to be on their email list. I do not want to be their friends. So I don't. But I thought I see all the pictures.
Yeah, we got invited.
I get enough junk mail already.
Oh, zing bing!
Just saying.
Take that.
I would have. I really wish I had thought about it, because it would have been fun to see Dr. Crane with his little hard hat on and going over there taking pictures,
like Bob the Builder.
We can fix it.
You know what? Yeah, if we would have gone, we would have dressed you up like with his big, huge tool belt,
blue overalls,
bright yellow hard hat, and you ask questions that make no sense to them. Like, you guys using that 916 router screw, or are you doing
what kind of grid you guys using in the clubhouse? I'm just curious.
Just make up stuff.
Hey, do y'all need any extra wood? I got some.
Cedar, Bossel, whatever.
Yes, man.
Who's that boy that keeps asking about wood?
How big a boy are you?
Well, hey.
Again, this is a family show.
I'm paying homage to the great Roy D. Mercer. That's
Yeah.
all I'm doing.
Oh,
good.
okay. I mean, we were on in elementary schools in Dixon, Stewart County, Overton, Fentress, counties that I had no idea, but I do know now because of the great Bill Hall growing up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Right?
Snowbird right there.
Just go down the list.
Well, if
of all
that's the
those.
case, make sure you read 5 minutes a day, do your math problems, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's good.
I could do that.
615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. We're up and running here on this Tuesday. There's a text I want to get to from Andrew coming up next and kind of leads us into some of this mock draft stuff. Hal Gill going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Predators back in action tonight against Boston. Do all that and much more. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Steady. Tune in to 94.9 The Fan tonight for Vanderbilt Mids basketball's Commodores take on Arkansas Memorial Gym. 9 o'clock tip, pregame at 8:30. It's a late one.
9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Are you serious? A 9 o'clock start tonight at Memorial Gym. Are you sure it's not 8 o'clock?
Hang on. That didn't sound right to me either, and I knew you were going to question me about it. Yeah, 9 o'clock.
All right.
Look,
Give me a second.
They
Give
don't
me a
make
second.
the rules.
A 9 o'clock start on a school night.
Yeah.
I mean, are
It's
they
SEC Network. I mean,
are they
or it's-
trying not to get people to come to games? And I know we're all beholden to the mighty networks.
Yeah.
This is absolutely ridiculous to start a game at 9 o'clock on a damn school night. Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong on this?
No. But it's the network. It's not the school.
That's the problem. It's the network.
Well, it's the SEC. The SEC is beholden to the network.
9
so Vandy
o'clock.
has nothing to do with it.
9. Let's go to the game, kids. Well, we're usually, in bed asleep by 10. Oh, no, we're in the first half of this Vandy game. That is absolutely ridiculous to start a game at 9 o'clock Central Time.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm mad at the messenger. I gotta be mad at somebody, and you're the guy sitting across from me.
I'm just reading the
I
damn
know.
promo.
Dr. Crane's in there doing whatever he does in there. So 9 o'clock.
You know what? Listen on 94.9 The Fan.
We'll have to. I will.
And the Game
I
Nashville
will.
app.
To the great Kevin Ingram. I'll listen tonight to that game, but 9 o'clock. Can you imagine taking your kids to that game? You're
I
out
don't
by
have
11,
kids.
11:15.
Yeah.
Home by midnight. You know what you're going to do? You're not going to go. So when people aren't at the game tonight and they're wondering, where's everybody? It's a 9 o'clock start. That's why.
Do you feel better?
No, I don't. This is terrible. This is absolutely stupid to start a game at 9 o'clock.
Okay. I agree. I don't think you're wrong.
All right.
But I don't make the rules. I just read them.
You're smirking over there like you kind of were in on the game, in on making the rules.
Yes. Greg Sankey called me and said, "You want to piss off Joe Dubin?"
That's easy to do, man.
That's exactly what I said. 615-737-1025. Andrew says on our text line, I absolutely want Cam Ward and no one else, and I don't want him on the field his first year. So get us a bridge quarterback. If they did that, I mean, look, if they drafted Cam Ward number 1 overall, I would feel like Andrew and be like, go get a bridge, and he doesn't need to sniff the field. But there's no way they're going to do that. They just don't do that anymore. I mean, they may say that that's the plan and that's what they're going to do, but then they don't do it. I mean, it's just there's too much money and they don't have enough time. They have 4 years basically to figure this out, and they're like,
Right.
throw them in.
Yeah, those days are over.
But if this was the old days, like Steve McNair and even Vince Young to an extent before he took over halfway through his rookie year, Locker, I mean, I would be all on board with draft the guy and sit him.
Well, then explain to me Jordan Love.
What do you mean?
I mean, he sat for 2-3 years?
Yeah, 3 years, just
Yeah.
like Rodgers did.
Yeah.
That obviously has worked for the Green Bay Packers.
I absolutely has. But at the same time, I'm an owner. I'll never forget when in 2012, when it became Hasselbeck started every game in 11. Then in 2012, it was Locker and Hasselbeck. I'll never forget. Andrew Luck came in, got drafted by the Colts. He started in the preseason. I will never forget Bud Adams making the call of like, all right, Jake Locker's going to start.
Yep.
Hasselbeck never saw the field again.
Yep.
They're paying
And that
these
was a
guys.
mistake.
There's no more patience. That's why the Jordan Love thing is fantastic because he sat for 3 years. But now Cam Ward's not coming here to sit. He's not.
Yeah.
And then if the Titans start 0-2 and whoever this bridge quarterback is,
it'll be like, go to him.
exactly.
Go to him.
Exactly.
Now, what's interesting is there's a couple of new mock drafts that have come out today. Jordan Reed, who is with ESPN, has a 2-round mock draft, and now after the combine is when you start seeing trades get worked in. So Jordan Reed has the Titans trading the number 1 overall pick to the Giants. This is what they are projecting. The Giants and Titans will swap 1 and 3. The Titans receive a 2nd-round pick this year, which is number 34, and a 3rd-round pick in 2026. And so the Titans add 2 picks to their kitty.
No,
I think you need more than that.
thank you.
I think you need more than that. I like that you're getting a 2nd, but you're still without a 3rd this year. You'd have 2 seconds, but in back-to-back, you'd have back-to-back picks.
Mhm.
But I think you need a little bit more out of that.
I totally agree.
So in this scenario, the Giants select Ward, number 1 overall. Cleveland selects Shedeur Sanders, number 2. The Titans at 3 take Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State.
Okay.
Travis Hunter goes to New England at 4. Mason Graham, the DT from Michigan, goes to Jacksonville. Genty to the Raiders at 6. Shamar Stewart to the Jets at 7. Michael Williams, the edge from Georgia to Carolina. Tyler Warren to the Saints at 9. And then Armin Mimbo, the offensive tackle from Missouri, to the Bears at 10. Looking at the 2nd round in Jordan Reed's mock, the Titans would have the 2nd and 3rd picks in the 2nd round. Cleveland goes Trayvon Henderson, the running back from Ohio State. Then the Titans go Luther Burden, wide receiver from Missouri, at 34, and Gray Zabel, the center guard from North Dakota State, at 35.
No, I'm not on board with this. Not at all.
Okay,
I think they need more. You have the golden goose.
I agree.
Yeah, you want this?
Look, I
What are
don't
you going
mind. I don't mind the. I mean, I am worried about Carter at this point, but in theory, I don't mind the player selection. But I agree that you need to get more.
All right.
in
Say
the
they do
return.
that and you don't take Abdul Carter. Who you taking at number 3?
Hunter.
Oh, yeah. All right. I
Uh,
like it a lot.
and so speaking of Dane Brugler, he has
Big D.
his mock draft. He also has the Titans trading the number 1 overall pick with the Giants. So he has this is the only trade I'm projecting in this mock, and it probably would be the least surprising move if it comes to fruition. Packaging a pair of day 2 picks to move up to number 3, move up from number 3 to number 1 would likely be enough to put Ward in a Giants jersey. So he doesn't give specifics, but that's where he goes.
No, I mean, I got the number 1 pick, right? And you want it? What are you going to give me?
I want a 2 and a 3. I want a 3 this year.
Bitch, I'm not looking at 26. I give it to me
I
now.
want your 1. I mean, I'm playing hardball because guess what? I don't have to give it to you.
That's right.
That's what it means. So he has them taking Ward. Cleveland takes Carter, number 2.
No.
Titans take Travis Hunter at 3rd overall in this draft.
I think Carter slips and slips.
I do too.
And slips.
He actually has Shedeur Sanders falling all the way down to 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh, where's Jackson Dart in that?
By the way, Matthew Golden, he has him going to the Chargers. I'm kind of like Jared. I like Matthew Golden. Jackson Dart, I don't think he has him in the 1st round.
Okay.
Not that I can tell. I'm looking. Nope. Jordan Reed has Jackson. I don't know if he has Jackson Dart either. So
I love this because on draft day it all becomes
and it's
just
all
a complete
different.
disaster.
It's a bleep show. Because aren't there some people that like Dart 1st round?
Yeah, we're right here.
You like him 1st round?
I think he's a good quarterback. I think he could go mid to late 1st round.
In Jordan Reed, he has him 2nd round, 37th overall to the Raiders.
I still think the Raiders are going to play a factor in this somehow, some way. Somehow, some way, they want the splash. And I think they'll give up. And, if you laughed at us last week, which we threw it out there, we're not saying that's going to happen. That's what we'd like to happen. Get the Max Crosby, get their pick, gobble up a bunch of draft choices. I just think the Raiders are going to need that. They want that oomph, and they can get it by giving the Titans a lot of things.
Yeah. Real quick, Dylan wants to probably agree with you on the Vandy start time. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, Joe, you're totally right on this. I know Chase is just the bearer of bad news.
Yeah,
Sorry, Chase.
right.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. So this whole 9 o'clock thing, like I get when the Predators do it because they're in the Western Conference, is Pacific time zone. Like they have to do that. And most of the SEC, I think, is in the Central and the Atlantic, time zone. So
Eastern.
what Eastern? Excuse me. Yes, you're right. What? What? Okay. You got me there. Okay. So what is up with this 9 p.m. start time? Can anyone like explain that? Like, why are we doing a hoops thing at 9 p.m.? Seriously.
Because I guess the SEC network wants to show a doubleheader, and so that's what.
Well, they
doing.
were starting some games at 6 and 8.
No. Oh no, hear me out.
All right.
Who's the first? Who's the first of the doubleheader?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I'm looking.
I gotcha, Chase.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I need to know what's on our stations. I don't know what's.
Okay. All right. Hey,
on.
thanks for taking my call, guys.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
see you, Dylan.
Let's see. Tonight, they have 3 games. That's the problem. So 5:00 Central Time, Georgia, South Carolina, 7:00 Central Time, Texas, Mississippi State, and then 9:00 Central, Arkansas, Vanderbilt. So it's a triple header.
The first game is 6:00 locally for them.
Yeah,
that's fine. All right, 6:00 locally.
it's because they're trying to pack 3 games in. That's your answer.
That's just.
Do we need it? Listen, I love a triple header. Do we need that on a Tuesday night?
No, we don't. Saturday afternoon's good. Noon, 3 and 6 or 7,
like,
whatever.
To his point, like if the Predators are on the West Coast and it starts at 9:00, okay, I get that.
They're on the West Coast.
They're on the West Coast. But starting locally at 9:00, I agree with you.
I have a problem with the 6:00 start and the 9:00 start.
We've discussed that.
The 7:00 start is fine. And you've got all these networks now and all these streaming availabilities. You can go at 7. But a 9:00 start is just so ridiculously stupid that I can't wrap my mind around it. I can't. And for all of you who don't have kids, that's great. But for us that have kids and love Vanderbilt basketball, and your kid's going to bed at midnight, I don't get it. I don't understand this.
Well, I'm going to enjoy laying in bed, listening to it storm, and watching the game.
Yeah,
that's exactly what's going to happen.
Better at that. I don't know, man. This is just too much.
A Twitterer says Rodgers all day and sign Devontae Adams if you can for a year. It'll keep things exciting for the fan base, and Ward will get a crucial learning year behind one of the greats.
I have no problem with that.
So they're saying take Ward number 1 overall and sign Aaron Rodgers.
I got no problem. With that. I'm worried about the now. Give me Rodgers now. Bring in Adams. Be competitive now.
If they used the number 1 overall pick on Cam Ward and then came out and told you, like Floyd Reese did and Jeff Fisher did in 1995, and say, get a good look at him because you're not going to see him again until next year.
I think most fans would be happy with that.
I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
But then it's hey, if we start off 0-8, you're still not going to see him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear anybody complaining. We're going to keep Levis on the rock. He's the 3rd quarterback.
I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that.
But
give me the now.
As long as and I'm saying this to one other person too, Amy, you're not going to see him this year. You need to understand that. You can wear your jersey, you can feel good about it, but you're not going to see him this year.
I think she'd be happy with Aaron Rodgers. I really do. I'm on board with that. I'm on board with Aaron Rodgers.
You're kind of convincing me into that. Yeah. Like if you take, but what that means is you have 135. You don't have a 3rd round pick right now. Now you could maybe fleece somebody with Landry and try and get that, but that's your draft,
right? Well,
you're starting to kind of convince me.
Show me what you got on free agency. Plug 1 or 2 holes. Don't overspend on Cheeto and Snead. I know Snead was a trade. I get that. But just don't do that. And just build here, build there, build a little bit, but give me Rodgers.
Okay. All right. We're going to try and catch up with Hal Gill. He might be doing some morning skate stuff because they are on Eastern time in Boston right now. But we will see if we can touch base with him. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Tuesday. Joe and I having our in the break Simpsons conversation, but we bring in the great Hal Gill, Boston's own, and he's in Beantown tonight. Skillsy, what's up?
What's going on?
Is it good to be back home? Did you get your dunks?
I did get my dunks. Yeah, I got a good walk. I saw some old friends, walked around the city a little bit. Had a couple pints, a couple clam chowder, and a lobster roll. So how about that?
You are living life. And look,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that this is obviously it's not fun right now with the team and the way things are going. So you got to make the most of it.
Yeah, you got to do whatever you can right now. It's a struggle for the boys, but hey, life goes on. You gotta enjoy the small things, the little things.
And look, we've talked about this before. You know, you've obviously lived this as a player around the trade deadline. We see Gus Nyquist, the Gus bus heads to Minnesota, and obviously you hate to see him go, but you kind of knew that was probably going to happen. And my guess is there's a couple of guys that, might play tonight that it could be their last game as a Predator when Friday rolls around. So how do you kind of power through some of that, knowing that more changes could be on the way?
Yeah, you got to be a pro. I say you got to be a pro. You got to do this. You got to play through it. You got to, play for your teammates. You got to play for your contract. You got a million reasons why you can play, but it's hard. Let's be honest. It's hard to get jacked up for games that don't mean anything. You play for at the beginning of the season to win a cup, and that's your goal. And there's goals along the way that you're trying to hit. But it's hard when you're not playing for the cup. And so you have to go back to finding something that gets you going. And it's something different for every guy. And you just got to find what it is and stick to that and be a pro about it.
We're talking to Hal Gill in Boston as the Preds take on the Bruins tonight. Hal, you've been traded before. What's that like? What's the anticipation like when you hear your name being tossed around, but you're not sure you're getting traded? What's that like?
Yeah, I've gone through it both ways where I didn't hear anything and then I got traded. And then I was hearing all the rumors. I heard they're going to get a second and a fourth round, and it might be this guy and it might be that guy. And now you might be going somewhere else. And so I've heard that, and then nothing ever happened. So I think you have to, obviously you're going to listen, but you kind of take it with a grain of salt because you don't know what's going to happen. And when you're on a road trip, you pack extra because you don't know if that's going to be, moving to another city as soon as that road trip is over. So it's just the little things like that. And then looking around the locker room before the game starts, like, is anyone packing up and getting out of here or how is this going to work? And then there's also, don't forget, there's the excitement of these young guys that are getting called up. And so, one guy gets traded, but that means a door open for someone else. And so that's the other flip side of it that can be fun.
Do you know, like when the GM comes down, I was like, hey, big man, how's it going? You're like, oh, just cut to the chase.
Yeah. I was actually told by Montreal, I didn't like this too much, but I was told that I was traded. And they said, we'll let you know where later on. I was like,
that's terrible.
An hour later, I got a call from David Poyle. So,
yep.
I was like, can we please, why are we doing that? I didn't need to know. You could have waited an hour and, instead of just leaving me in lurch. But yeah, it's tough every time. Every time someone gets traded, it's a different experience.
What's funny about that, Hal? I was still in college, but I was starting into radio. I think I was interning here and I was doing a college radio show. I was on the air at the time that trade happened, and I remember going like, "Oh, Hal Gill, that's a big guy. I like him." But it was wasn't it for Blake Jeffrey on?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, Blake Jeffrey on. There was another piece, but I can't remember what it was. Basically Blake Jeffrey.
Do you ever, when like that happens, do you ever like have a grudge against the guy you get traded for?
I do remember one guy, Rob DeMaio was traded for Mike Knuble, and I remember Rob DeMaio said Mike Knuble was younger at the time, and Rob, I was sitting next to Rob, and he said, "What was the trade?" And they said Mike Knuble, And he said, and who else? And they said, oh, that's it. And he was like, oh. He thought he was worth a little bit more than just one good player, but Noobs turned out to be a pretty good player. So it was a kind of a fair trade, I guess.
Hal Gill is with us. So looking at the game tonight, obviously didn't go well in New York. What do you want to see out of these guys as they hit the ice tonight?
I want to see plays being made. I feel like Delgado was making plays, like attacking the game. He scored that goal in Long Island. That was a play that he made. Colton Sissons made some plays. He had the goal and assist in Long Island. There were some plays that were made that didn't come to fruition, but like I just want to get on the edge of my seat a little bit, and whether that's a good defensive play, someone playing aggressive, someone just show the fans, show your teammates, show yourself that you care, and try to make a play. And if you win or lose, I don't think that's what really matters right now. I think it's about going out and competing and trying to build some chemistry and have some success and try some new things. What does it hurt? Go make a play, make us go wow.
Yeah, for sure. Going to be interesting to see. We'll have pregame coverage starting at 5:00, and you and Max will be on the call just after 6. So we appreciate it, Skillsy. Have a good one.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. Hal Gill joining us here on the program, Predators analyst. You can obviously hear him on the radio, see him on the television as well on FanDuel Sports Network.
We talked to Hal last time about a year ago about getting traded and the effect on your family.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll see you in about 3 weeks, honey. Make sure you pay the rent and pick the kids up and do this and do that and everything you do. But here's 8,000 things more you got to do, and I'll see you in another city when it happens. But again, it's a business. They make a lot of money. I get all that, but at the end of the day,
but
it's got to kind of like, man, I wanted to stay here, and then you're gone.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we use the phrase "it's a business" a lot, and they use it too. But it's like I kind of get sick of that sometimes because it's like, yeah, it is, but there's more to it.
Now, you did not like. It's not you didn't like, but the Ekholm trade that bugged you.
Yeah,
because you like the guy.
I understood it, but I hated it. Just like, I mean, honestly, like the Nyquist trade, I understood it, but I liked him. I think he was a good fit. Now they need to get younger. And so that's a part of it. But if there was a scenario, because he's going to be a free agent, where they turn around and re-signed him in the summer, I wouldn't hate that either. But I don't think they're going to do that because they need to get younger. Let's see what some of these young guys can do. But
will you do me a favor after this short break? Explain to me why the Blackhawks have sucked since 2017.
I will attempt to do that.
And
I think
the Red Wings.
I think it's a great question. Because that's what you got to always be wary of when you go through a quote unquote rebuild.
It's 9 seasons now.
Yeah.
Seasons, not years, seasons.
We'll discuss that and much more coming up next. Not only is Vandy men's basketball in action tonight at midnight, but before that, Vandy baseball plays at the Hawk this afternoon. Pregame at 4:15, first pitch at 4:30. You can hear them as they take on Evansville. Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app. Just select 94.9 The Fan and thegamenashville.com. Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We're broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Appreciate Hal Gill for joining us from Boston as the Preds back in action. Trade deadline is Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time. Moving a few things around, we'll have Greg Wyshynski on with us on Friday. So things will be hot and heavy in the deadline. We can talk to him about that and see what else the Predators will do. Now, your question to me was, why is it taking Chicago and Detroit so long to get things going again?
After all the success they had.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
It honestly, I don't have a good answer for it. I mean, Detroit, Steve Yzerman did. I mean, he was kind of the architect that helped build what Tampa Bay became, with guys like Kucherov and Stamkos and, those 2 Stanley Cups. Then he goes to Detroit, where obviously he was a hero and played and all of that. And I mean, they have been close. And I think looking at the standings right now, they're in the second wild card spot, but it's a log jam in the East. And so they obviously have to keep playing well to be able to hold on to that spot. But that's been it's I think been 8 years since they have made the playoffs.
Right.
Chicago is another one, but Chicago has been a little different because, they went through Quenneville left and then a few different coaches they've gone through, GMs, and, it just, you think you got a game-changing, franchise-changing player in Connor Bedard, and I think he's pretty good, but maybe he's not McDavid. Maybe he's not Gretzky, and everybody thinks that, like, oh, well, we got the next one.
Yeah. Well, you think they would squeak in one, just get there, but they've not been since 17. I mean, were they that destroyed by the Predators in the Stanley Cup playoffs that they just like, all right, we're done. We'll see you in 50 years.
Yeah.
It's just mind blowing because that was the team that knocked them out, the Preds, for so long. And then see the Red Wings do this as well. All right. So
they just, but the thing is, and like Detroit has DeBrincat, and it's more than one guy. Like you have got to have a core. And like, that's why the Predators have been able to, we can sit here and, argue that, okay, well, they don't have any cups to show for it, but they've been pretty much a perennial playoff team.
Yeah, right.
Because they built a core.
They did.
And now that's what Barry Trotz is trying to do again, is take the current core, which is Yossi and Forsberg and Saros and, Sissons is a part of that, and now transition into what's the next core. And he hadn't found that yet. You're hoping that Saros can kind of be the transition point because you've signed him to a long-term deal. Forsberg's still relatively young, but Evangelista hasn't played well, which is a concern. You're hoping Molendyk is one that can, once he comes in, that he can be a part of that and kind of be the next great defenseman to wear a Predators uniform.
There's just no grinders anymore, man.
Yeah, the game's changed. It's not as heavy of a game anymore as it used to be.
Right.
It's more of a speed game, and so you got to find those speed guys. And the biggest concern that people have with the Predators is, what have they always done well? What have they always drafted well?
Defenseman.
Right. And I still think they have, I think Molendyk's going to be pretty good. And goaltending and defense have always been pretty good for the Predators. It's drafting and developing a forward.
Okay. Now this is not just something. All right. NFL, who's got the longest playoff drought?
It's a good question.
They've not been in the playoffs since 2010. Every other team in NFL has been in the playoffs. This team hasn't been since 2010.
Jets.
Good job. Yeah, that's exactly right. The NHL.
Buffalo.
Look at you. 13 seasons not been in the playoffs. Baseball.
That's a little tougher.
American League.
Mm-hmm.
In the
A's.
West. Go a little south.
South of Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Angels.
Angels.
Yeah.
10 seasons. And then basketball, 8. with the Charlotte Hornets, which
Yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
they've ever been in the playoffs at all. I mean, it's. I'm not saying it's easy to get to the playoffs, but we've had all that success, and now there's nothing. It's just weird not seeing the Red Wings or the Blackhawks in the playoffs. It's been that way for a while now. It's like, all right, what's going on? The shifting of the guard that you see, and I don't know. It's just interesting to me why they haven't been back since 2017.
Well, and it's gonna be interesting. Like if you look at the East right now, Toronto, Florida, Tampa in the Atlantic Division, like they're in good shape. Okay, they've been perennial powerhouses,
Right.
Obviously a lot of pressure on Toronto to actually make a run. And then in the Metro, Washington, Carolina, New Jersey. New Jersey's been a team everybody's been watching for the last few years of like they're coming because they're young. And they've done it the right way. Then Columbus is just look, I'm convinced that Johnny Gaudreau's up high. I mean, they're just fueling off that. Like, I don't think that's a great team, but they're
Right.
playing like one. They're in the wild card spot. Detroit's barely hanging on to that. And then you're going to have the Rangers. They could miss out, which is a big surprise. Boston, even though they're in the hunt, they could miss out. They made a coaching change earlier this year. Philadelphia can't figure it out. The Islanders, the Penguins are going the wrong way. They're about to go into a rebuild. I mean, there's these team names that have been there in the past that everything's fallen off. And then in the West, it's kind of the same old with, Vegas, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Dallas,
Yeah.
Minnesota's in there. The Kings are in there. Colorado, Calgary.
But if it's the Predators and they're like the Sabres, and they've missed 13 straight seasons, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
If there's a Buffalo Sabre fan out there that could text in and let us know why,
they hate it.
what's going on? How do you deal with this? Because the Predators are going to miss the playoffs this year. I'm like, this sucks. They made it last year. Like, yeah, I know they got bounced in the first round. They still made the playoffs. They're still one of the teams in the playoffs, so there's that hope of getting there. So it's great. Now it's like, man, this sucks. I want the big party in April and May they'll get to go to and have a lot of fun. But as a Sabres fan, 13 seasons you haven't been?
My hope with the Predators is this year was such a colossal disappointment that it's going to wake some people up, and they're going to do a few tweaks here and there. I like Andrew Brunette. I do think that could be a part of the conversation, but you make a few tweaks here and there, and then all of a sudden we get something special next year. That's what I hope and what I kind of think is going to happen. But obviously they got to put it all together.
Well, yeah, that's it. Give me hope. I mean,
and Barry knows that the pressure's now going to be on him.
Barry, if you need to talk through this, we're here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not giving you advice on player. Yeah.
So,
but we could just give you something. I mean, we can talk over something, but I just 13
Christopher
seasons.
Walken give you something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, guys.
We will get more into the NFL and all those things. And
it's also a very important day for some folks around here.
It is. We'll discuss that and much more coming up next in hour number 2. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Tuesday. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your day so far. We are. That is for sure. By the way, did I see you posted, it's been how long since Chris Farley?
John Candy.
Or John Candy. It was John Candy.
He passed away in 1994.
Jeez.
41.
No.
He was 43 years old 41 years ago. 31 years ago. Sorry.
31 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I finished, we talk about 1994. I finished watching the OJ documentary on Netflix
Yeah.
last night, which I don't know if I really learned anything new. There were a couple of little things, but I just, as I have with, everything I've watched on that case, I shake my head.
You learned one thing, that OJ had zero remorse.
Oh, yeah.
Zero.
But again, I kind of knew that.
Right.
The agent telling his side of everything is just like them sitting by the pool, and he's like, "What happened that night?" And OJ says, "She didn't answer the door with that knife, she'd still be alive." It was just like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
Yeah.
agent saying that, and you wish
Yeah.
at some point but it's nothing new about it now. I mean, he's gone.
No, but if you haven't watched it on Netflix, it's very well done. It's got some interesting commentary from the key players in the trial.
What's the best documentary you've ever seen?
On anything?
Anything?
The Last Dance. I think The Last Dance is one of the most well done documentaries.
Pretty good.
I mean, it was really good.
Yeah, all the memes that came out of that,
Yeah.
was just.
But because here's my thing on a documentary. Like, if you're doing a documentary on a person specifically, and like The Last Dance was, even though it was about the Bulls,
Right.
everybody knew it was about Jordan.
Mhm.
I want that person in it. Like, I want them speaking on
Yeah.
it. The thing about OJ is he never did, he would never do a documentary where he's actually participating in it.
Unless he got paid a ton of money.
I mean, you can't tell me he wasn't offered.
Oh, absolutely it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was never going to sit in front of a camera and go, "Listen, this is how it all went down."
Yeah, I mean, it's double
Like,
jeopardy.
even though there's nothing anybody could have done about it.
Right.
But
I think, God, this sounds terrible. I think had he gone to prison, I think what happened to him being judged by the American out free and around, I think that was probably, I'm probably crazy about this, worse than going to prison.
Well, they talked about his downfall. Like, he realized his status was gone. He was a pariah. Nobody wanted to touch him anymore. And, he kind of went off the deep end, went to Miami, and then the stuff with Vegas. And obviously that was interesting when he had the whole thing with trying to steal his memorabilia back and all of that. They threw the max sentence at him.
Yeah.
33. How much money did he owe, the Goldmans and the Browns? 33 million. There was obviously something with that.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Jordan thing with The Last Dance was he's still mad.
Yeah.
Right. And he won 6 titles. He's worth over $1 billion,
Right.
all earned, all deserved, but he's still mad. I mean, just watch him get mad. And had the iPad in front of him and all that. To me, that was the best part about The Last Dance. Documentary for me that I think was, and this is anything, you got to watch the Eagles documentary, because they started following the Eagles in the early to mid 70s, and all this video they got of the Eagles until like that documentary came out like 7-8 years ago. Up until that point, I'm telling you, watch it. It is unbelievable to watch this band, probably the greatest American band ever.
Which one?
The Eagles.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
Watch them rise and go up, and just the access, the documentary crew to all this, the fight between Glenn Fry and Don Felder and the 14 years they didn't tour and the lawsuits and the ego. It is just sit there and like, you don't move. I don't remember breathing for the 2+ hours I watched that, but I'm with you. The Last Dance and me, the Eagles thing are two of the greatest documentaries ever.
I watched the Eagles documentary shortly after Glenn Fry died. It was just randomly on one night, and I just sat there for 3 hours. Like, it was a Friday night. I was going to go out. I was going to like do something, and I sat there for 3 hours and watch the
It's
Eagles.
crazy how good it was.
Yeah.
And you're like, my goodness, how it all came together. But also something else today's happening, which I need to take you to one year, and it's Mardi Gras. It's today. Today's Fat Tuesday.
I'd love to go to Mardi Gras.
Do you? Because I've been to several, and as our good friend Greg Pogue says, every time you go to New Orleans, it takes 6 months off your life.
Yeah, well, what's funny, our good friend Haley from 1029 The Buzz, her and her husband went down for a long weekend a couple weekends ago, and I was like, so what'd you think? Because it was, I think, their first time there. And she's like, I'm kind of feeling it. It's the worst hangover I have ever had in my life. In my 37 years, it is still. I woke up after my first night in New Orleans the next day, and I was like, shoot me. I felt awful.
What was the drink that did it to you?
All of them. I mean, but here's the problem. It's like never ending. You walk down Bourbon Street and you can just walk with the drink. So it was the Hurricanes. It was this damn hand grenade thing that was like 4 different types of liquor and juice and sugar and all this stuff. And it's like, you taste it like, oh, I can't taste the liquor. This is good.
Yeah. Right. Do you remember eating when you were down? Every time I go, I don't remember eating. All I remember is drinking nonstop.
Yeah. I went. Well, so what was funny is we went to this burger place that was like very, very well known. I forget the name of it.
McDonald's.
Yeah, it was Burger King. No, it was very well known. It was this place that everybody recommended that, like, oh, they have the best burger. And I was so hungover that like I could barely eat.
Ugh.
Like I did, it's one of
greasy
those
burger.
like, you know how you've like it'll help you, like if you just force it down, like it'll help you.
Yeah.
Every time I tried, I was like,
Were you down for wrestling?
it was WrestleMania.
Okay.
WrestleMania 30.
What year is this?
So this would have been 14,
Okay.
2014.
You're just a baby.
I was. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Broadway, Bourbon Street in New Orleans,
It's undefeated.
undefeated.
And it's like, I want to go back. And now that I'm older and slightly wiser, like I'll behave myself a little bit more. But
Yeah, it's a good. I think I've been to 6 Mardi Gras, or at least the weekend of, and I don't regret any of it.
Which ones do you remember?
The first one, that's it. The first time I ever got on Bourbon Street during Mardi Gras, I'm there 10 minutes. A friend of ours, his uncle owned a bar on Bourbon Street, and I'll post this. I repost it every year, and we're there 10 minutes, and I see this guy walk in with a fur coat on. It's probably worth $100,000, and it was Quincy Jones.
Oh, wow.
I'm there 5 minutes, and there's Quincy Jones. So all I'm thinking about is, man, he produced Thriller.
Yeah.
And he just walked on down Bourbon Street. I just, it was awesome seeing that. But then the Hurricanes come out, and then the party comes out, and then it's just like, everybody should experience at least one time Mardi Gras. I just don't think it's something that you remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Something else, man.
It
Faux show.
Faux show. I can't say that anymore because he's going to do that. Every time.
It's the remember when we made fun of what was
Port of Call? That was it. Thank you. Port of Call. That was the place.
the hamburger place?
Yeah.
Port of Call.
Yeah. Thank you, 8492.
Wasn't there a record store here called Port of Call back in the 80s
know.
and 70s? I think there was. Port of Call?
Port of Call.
I'm going to look that up. Port of Call.
Look, we've taken the show to Key West. Like, do we?
We did do it.
We should take the show to New Orleans.
We should. And next week, taking the show downtown, baby.
We are taking the show downtown to Broadway.
To Broadway.
It's gonna be fun.
Be a lot of fun.
Dr. Crane's gonna do keg stands.
Hey,
It's gonna be
Yeah.
cool.
I
All
still think we got to figure out one day how to do the show in a pedal tavern.
I
Can we?
know how. I
Can
think
we just one day just get you just blitzed and put a camera on you and just let you roam the streets of Nashville?
as long as the Metro Police say it's okay, I'm all right.
Well, yeah, we'll be with you. We'll watch you. But
We'll
I
have
would
one-
I would love to see that.
We'll
just
have one of those
time.
little parent leashes they have on their kids. We'll have you with us, but you got to carry your rugby football. I think that gives you little.
and wear the coach hat, the SMU hat, your
I can do that.
cowboy
My
hat.
cowboy hat. I can do that.
Yeah, I think
Cowboy
you're-
hat, rugby ball. Okay.
I think is it a rugby ball? Is that what they're called?
Yes,
That I think the rugby ball is your security blanket because you held that thing yesterday so tight,
I did.
like a puppy dog, and they're chewy. You just kind of held that right there, so it was really adorable.
Thank you.
So
I tend to do that stuff, you know. Whenever I don't have a baseball, I have a rugby ball, and it's just tucked under my arm.
but can we do the show in a pedal tavern? I mean, I despise pedal taverns, but I think this
Yeah.
would be fun. There's got to be a way.
I mean, I have thought it would be funny to do the show from really random places. Like one time we joked and said Sean Henry's office, and he said no.
All right, come on, you guys in here.
but like it'd be okay. Yeah, I mean, if we could set it up, I'd do one from a pedal tavern.
I think we could, right? With the internet now,
Yeah,
even though we
we can do
downtown, I think you'd be connected all that.
I know how. You get one of those little small duos that, you know, kind of the board that you had.
Yeah.
Get the small duo,
Yeah.
plug in like the headphones with like the microphone on the headset, and then just connect to like via a Teams or a Zoom.
Yeah,
thing.
we could do it.
But here's the deal: I ain't pedaling.
That's okay.
Yeah, right.
You don't have
All
to
right.
pedal.
I want to
Listen.
sit on the fender or whatever, the wheel, where you don't have to.
Let's see what members of our sales staff are listening right now. Contact the pedal tavern, get this set up, and we can give away some spots on the pedal tavern downtown.
Okay.
You can be on the tavern while we do the show.
Okay, and we need like a celebrity with us. Just
Yeah. I mean,
somebody.
we'll go through and pick up some people and
Yeah.
have them on. So we'll give away like 4 or 5 spots
Who would you?
and have some people on.
All right, let's after the end of the break. Let's pick out who would you like to hop on with us,
Okay.
celebrity wise.
615-737-1025. We'll discuss this and much more. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 1025, 1063, The Game. Chasing Big Joe 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Here on this Tuesday, Nevada Josh talking about what celebrity we get on the Pedal Tavern. He goes, "What do you mean? You guys are celebrities." So nice, Josh.
Yeah, Josh,
in the mail.
appreciate you, but my gosh. Not
Um,
until the
Do we could get Jeff Fisher. Like, guys, this is
right.
great. Make a turn up here. It's Nissan Stadium. We did a lot of good things. He's going to be in studio with us Thursday, so
Oh,
looking forward to that.
nice.
It'll be good.
Yeah, I think for some reason Hank Jr. I'd like to go to Pedal Tavern with Hank
That'd
with
be
Bo
fun.
Cephas.
That'd be fun.
He listens to us out in Henry County, up in Paris, Tennessee. So Hank, come on out, buddy. We do this at Pedal Tavern. You can hop on with us.
All our rowdy friends are going pedaling tonight.
See, got a new song for you there. It'd be perfect with all that. You could do that.
Yeah, we could have some
Who
fun
would you
with that.
want? Probably Hal Gill, Willie.
No. Why them? I see them all the time.
Nashville based. Who would you like to hop on Pedal Tavern?
Nashville base.
Somebody you know that lives here. Dirks Bentley.
Jelly Roll.
You know he's not pedaling either.
Yeah.
So
just sit
that's
there
3
and
of us
talk.
not pedaling.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
All right, Jason, if you're listening, call in, buddy. You're on. Dr. Creighton, who do you want?
I don't know. I'm still thinking. Maybe Alan Jackson. I don't know. Somebody 90s country. It's gonna have to really
AJ 'd
think
be
about
cool.
that one. Yeah.
But Doug Stone.
Doug
lives-
Stone. There you go.
He lives up around here somewhere, I think, up in Springfield.
What was his
Pennsylvania.
big song?
I'd be better off in a pine box
Yeah,
on
that
a
one.
slow boat. Up the
Why didn't I
track.
think of that? That was another one.
Why didn't I think of that? Ooh. Doug Stone's great, man.
That'd be good. Billy Ray Cyrus.
That would be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be something.
Yeah, but everybody would want to talk about.
But let me
Miley.
tell you what, I've dealt with him twice, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He was so nice, so genuine. The 2 times I had to do something with him, he was great. I'd take that.
I would tell you one of the coolest like crossover moments that I've ever seen was CMA Fest like 2 or 3 years ago. Dirk Bentley was at Nissan Stadium. Dirk Bentley was playing, and he's playing his song "Drunk on a Plane," and he gets to the 3rd verse, and like the band stops, and then he goes into "Achy Breaky Heart," and Billy Ray walks out, and it was like the
Yes.
biggest pop of Dirk Bentley and
That's
Billy Ray
nice.
Cyrus doing "Achy Breaky Heart." And I knew every word.
Oh yeah, man. That's
Because like
great. Yeah,
I
right?
loved that song. All right, so quick little story. That song came out when I was
92.
92, so I was 5 years old,
Oh,
probably.
little
Yeah,
chaser.
5, almost 6 years old. And Loveless, I was at Loveless, and Billy Ray hits it, and my grandmother, I saw he had signed a picture, and it was on the wall. And I was like, Billy Ray's been here? And she's like, yeah, he comes in all the time with his family. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And so one Saturday, she calls my dad and is like, hey, bring Chase to Loveless. And so I walk in, and there's Billy Ray Cyrus, and he's like, hey there, boy, and gives me a signed picture. And it was like the coolest thing ever.
Was it spelled correctly?
Why is that a thing?
Just kidding.
Yes, it was. But I was like, my grandmother set that up. That was really cool.
Let's see if Miley Cyrus would have been with him on that day. She was born.
No, this was
She was born in November of 92.
yeah. I don't.
So
I mean,
maybe
there wasn't a baby.
Yeah, maybe.
It was just him, I think. I don't know. I was little. I don't-
Still got the picture?
somewhere.
Need to bring it out and hang it in the studio.
I know.
Not often you get the achy breaky heart guy doing that.
Well, I don't want to hang it in the studio. Vengan might take it.
See a big Billy Ray fan?
No. I just wanted to randomly accuse Vengan of something.
Oh man. Oh, all right. So yeah, we got to get then yeah, this got to happen and do this.
I like it. I think it'd be good.
I feel like Blake Shelton. That's my pick. I feel like he'd be a good guy to have on a Pedal Tavern with.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean,
We could set this up and get our buddy Tim Duggar, we could get him with us. And
he ain't pedaling either.
no, I mean, they're
Right.
going to have a motor on this.
Nobody's
The
pedaling.
listeners have to pedal.
Right. That's fine. They could do that because we're not peddling any of
Yeah.
that stuff.
It'd be fun. I mean, we're peddling BS, but other than
Every day from 9 to 11, we would do that. But as much as I despise pedal taverns, I'm on board for this.
this could be a lot of
But
fun.
we have to be live. I mean, we have to
Yeah,
do our show
yeah,
live
yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
All right, we could do that.
Yeah. I mean, we can be live. We'll have some fun.
All right, Dr. Crane, if anybody in the world could go, who would this Nathan Cleary guy, you'd have him on
The Tom Brady of rugby?
Yeah.
What about him?
you'd have him on the pedal tavern with you?
Sure. They feel like it'd be a cool. They call everybody a cool. They use it. It's like bloke or something. It'd be a cool guy to use.
Okay.
It's like call him as a friend or whatever.
All right. So he's Australian rugby guy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Plays for the Penrith Panthers.
with who?
Penrith.
Penrith. I can't. I have a slight lisp. It's tough to say that. Penrith. Penrith Panthers.
Correct.
I be careful when I say that fast. I
Yeah.
think for me, I would like to. I'll take Don Johnson.
That'd be
I
fun.
love Miami Vice, so I'd like Don Johnson to be next to me. All right, you Chase. Anybody in the world?
I mean,
Come on, somebody.
Dale Jr.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. I mean, he'd be fun.
He's a nice guy. He'd probably pedal.
He'd pedal, but have a few beers, just talk.
Yeah,
We'll be go around Nashville.
he loves Nashville.
He does love Nashville.
Yeah, so I
So it
like
could be
that.
fun.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Look, I'm there you go.
Now our minds want like, can we pull this off when it's?
I think I think we can
All
make
right.
a few calls, talk to some people.
It has a little roof on it, so none of the gear would get overheated.
Yeah.
I think this works, man. But again, I'm not peddling. That's it.
5724. Think how fast everyone would pedal if you put Jared in front of it.
He's invited.
Yeah. Kyle from White. No, he's not. Kyle from White House says, I would say George Kittle on the Pedal Tavern or Taylor Lewan and Will Compton.
Then they'd cuss.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You'd have to have the bleep button going.
Yeah. They got their bus.
Yeah, they got their own thing doing. This is for the people, man.
Yeah.
Not for that made up stuff. This is for the people here. We're out.
They
for
like
you
another
guys.
radio station anyway. So
Yeah, that's right.
whatever.
Jocks out of Birmingham, that station.
Yeah. 615-737-1025. All right. We'll continue. Coming up next, you can weigh in on our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Nashville's best deal this week is from Brewster's Real Ice Cream in Hendersonville. Oh, I see we updated the copy here. See why Brewster's is a scoop above the rest with the best ice cream shakes, sundaes, splits, blasts, and more. Just visit theGameNashville.com/deals now and get half off a $50 gift card while supplies last. Broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Chase and Big Joe on this Tuesday. Would Luke Combs be welcome on the Pedal Tavern?
Yeah, but again, he's not pedaling, right? So we got a bunch of us that aren't pedaling. That's why we need to go in those little motorized ones that goes and takes off and let them do all the work, because we're not doing that. Yeah, Luke Combs. Why not? Right? He lives out in Dixon County, I'm told. He's probably listening today.
What's up, Luke?
Hey, man. What's
How you doing?
happening?
I just wouldn't want like one day, no offense to Clay. We love Clay. But like I would just want one day for, Luke Combs or somebody like that listening to call in and be like, hey, what's up, guys?
But they probably have called in, but under different names.
Yeah, good.
Maybe Clay is Luke Combs.
He could be. Hi, Clay, aka the Donut Man. What's going on?
Boys, how we doing?
We're good.
How about Big Joe?
What's up?
You like to party it up a little bit, don't you?
A little bit.
Chase, do you?
I've been known to party a little bit in my day.
Big Joe, I told you, I don't drink that much. I'll pedal.
Yeah, but you would steer us right into the river. I need somebody. I need something better than that.
Or get into a fight with a couple of people.
With the fan base. Yeah. We're not looking to fight on this trip.
How about some donuts and alcohol? That'd go good together, wouldn't it?
Hey, tell me this, Clay. A few weeks ago, you got into a fight at a bar with a lady over the Vanderbilt game. What was that about? Was she making that was the Auburn game, right?
Correct.
What was she making fun? What was she doing to irritating you?
Well, she was telling me when she started being a nurse, which was 37 years old, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, how what's this girl's age or something like that, and I can't remember something was said about age or something like that, and then she says something to me that I can't repeat on public radio. But the funny thing is now she's one of my customers.
Oh, okay. So did
Yeah.
she insult you or insult Vanderbilt?
No.
Okay. All right. This is personal then. We'll move on from that.
Yes.
There you go.
You need a ride tonight, Big Joe? Are you going to the game? I can drop you off the Marriott and maybe people jump out of the way.
Yeah.
It's at midnight.
For those that don't know, Clay was on his phone and two women were walking by and he didn't stop and they had to jump back into the bushes, which made me laugh, but everybody was okay after that. So that's okay. It's okay, Clay.
Chase,
Yes, sir.
I think Big Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, Big Joe, I think he paid me on Venmo, and you have to put what it's for, and he said for not killing me.
Yeah. Well, that's wise, and we're glad that didn't happen. We're glad that you're both safe.
Yeah, Clay, let me ask you this. You're a big Vanderbilt basketball fan. The game's at 9:00 tonight. How are you going to watch the game if your barbecue place closes at 9?
I will be at the Alley Pub in Bellevue watching the game.
Oh, that'll be good for sure.
Now,
That's a good spot.
Chase has something to do tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Clay. Appreciate it. See ya.
I'm telling you, man, he's a great guy, but I don't think I've prayed that hard in my life when I'm in the backseat of a car. I mean, I was like,
It's like I said
Lord.
yesterday, you were in a situation like that, you find Jesus real fast.
And I did real fast. Goodness.
So,
I mean, he's texting more than my daughter was 15. I mean, it was like stop texting. Then he's turning around talking to me during rush hour. I'm like, pay attention to the road. Love you, Clay, man. He's out there. He'll give you a good ride anywhere. We're teasing.
we are.
We're teasing.
Nevada Josh says, get Will Levis, LMAO. You can make him be the only one to pedal. That's your punishment.
I'm surprised he hasn't been available more. Just to kind of plead your case. And Will, you're welcome to come on anytime, Bubba.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I thought I meant to bring this up yesterday. So I went to Walmart the other night, and as I was walking in, there was this dude walking out that looked just like Will Levis, like to the point that I gave him a long look of like, is that actually Will Levis?
What were we doing at
was not.
Walmart so late?
It wasn't late. It was like 7.
What were you grabbing?
Groceries. Doing a little shopping.
you buy bread? I feel people don't buy bread anymore.
Well, yeah, I don't much, but I got some Texas toast, like the thick bread
Yeah.
that I can toast. Yeah.
Dr.
Yes,
Crane,
I'm
you
not.
don't, are you a bread guy?
Is the Pope Catholic?
I don't know. Is he?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I
Okay.
do love me some bread, Joe. I
Okay.
make my own loaves from time to time, but yes, I buy the whatever valley it is that you get it from.
I got 1 minute. How do you make your own? I'm curious. How do you make your own loaves?
Flour,
Okay.
warm water,
You make your own luck.
yeast. 3 things. The poor man's food. You put it into a little volcano, you twist it around, get real in depth with it, roll it out, and then you just put it in a bowl, let it rise for a couple hours, and then look, it's higher than the bowl itself. And some say to leave it for about 24, 48 hours. I leave it for about 12, pop it down, get it up again, elevate, and go on.
It sounds that this is quite personal.
What do you mean
It sounds like
personal?
he really enjoys it.
I
I mean,
do.
you fascinate me more and more each day.
You know,
with your skill set.
my grandparents taught me how to make bread, the poor
Yeah,
man's food.
I
Listen,
like
if
that.
you're ever homeless, you always can know that bread, yeast,
yeah.
and flour, yeast, and water are
Well,
the poor man's food.
When I'm homeless, the last thing I'm gonna do is how can I make bread? That's not. I'm not gonna look at that. So when it rises,
Yes.
how do you cut it to get in?
Pause.
Do you cut it to get it into a like bread? Like how do you
You take it out of the bowl, you turn it upside down onto the countertop,
Okay.
and you just get like one of those little cutters and you just cut it in half if you want to make 2 small loaves. Or if you want to make pizza, you just punch at it, and then the instead of it rising again, it just goes down, the air is out, and then you can cut it into halves and make your own little 8-inch pizzas.
You are fascinating because there's no way in hell I'm doing that.
That's why we have him.
That's right.
He can do it for
I'd
us.
almost rather starve than go through all that work.
And if you want to do all that, add some eggs, minus the yeast, add egg, and make your own pasta.
How many eggs? Because
Depends.
eggs are expensive now.
All right, hang
you're
on.
right.
Hang on. Pasta is just water, flour, and eggs.
Yeah.
You just
essentially.
roll it out.
Yeah, essentially so.
Do you have to bake it first, then you put it in boiling water, or do you?
No, you roll it out and then you just drop a little flour on top of it so it doesn't stick to the tabletop. And then once you're done with that, you have a little like a handful of pasta noodles. You just slice them into little, long noodles, put them into the hot water
You are going
with
to
a pinch of salt. Pinch of salt.
Yeah, need some salt.
You're going to make the greatest husband one day. You are.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I can barely
Or
operate
butler.
Well, thank
a microwave. Now, I'm telling you right now, I can make some great bagel bites because I know exactly how to put them in the air fryer when to take them out. I'm a master at bagel bites.
375.
But air fryer.
You put it-
Right around 390.
Oh, okay.
for
It's not
6
bad. Yeah,
minutes?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Flip, turn them around. You talk to them. You're like, all right, guys, you're gonna go here, you go there. You do that. Then another minute at 390, and that's it. It's perfect.
I have a pizza oven. One of these days I'll make you guys pizza and we'll have a good pizza party.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
All right, but I'd like to see this whole making bread. How long does it take again?
I normally, when I do it, I get up around 7 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and just let it go until about 3, 4 in the afternoon, eat around 5 or 6. It's more of a dinner preparation thing. If you want it right,
So
you don't let it sit long enough, it'll make your stomach upset.
So it grows during the day. That's what she said. Does it grow the bread grow during the day? Is that how it works?
Yes. That's what the yeast does.
Do you call Nani and say, hey, Nani, do you mind checking on the bread?
Sometimes.
He's like, it's a rising, Nicholas.
She does say this. Yep.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
there's a farmer chef that's questioning your 24 hours, but you said 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so the reason why I say 24 to 48, there are some pizzaiolos, which are like pizza makers, that say if you just let your, I guess, yeast keep rising and or you don't touch it for a certain amount of time, like around 24 to 48 hours,
Right.
there's a gluten factor that plays
Oh, yeah.
into play. So it can get all that gluten stuff out of it. I don't know. I didn't look too much
I don't
into
like
that,
gluten.
but that's what I've been told. That's what I've seen online and Food Network. So
That's what sources have told me.
that's correct. haven't tried it.
Sources.
Haven't tried it firsthand.
2349 says only on Chase and Big Joe can you learn how to make bread. Look, we're here to educate you.
That's it. If you take one thing away, it's Dr. Crane's fascination of food and everything that goes on. And I love it, man.
Thank
Because
you.
I can't cook, but I like hearing how you can do that.
Thank you.
So if I'm homeless, I'm going to find water, egg, and yeast.
Oh, that's for pasta. You just want to find flour.
Joe,
water,
you'll
and
never
yeast.
be homeless because
Uh,
we'll take
I've
you
been
in.
close several times. Okay. All right. You're the best, man.
You are the best. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays here on Chase, Big Joe, and Bread 1025 1063 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 the game. This makes me think of baseball because like the organists will play this.
I'll be
And-
darned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at beautiful First Horizon Park yesterday, getting ready for sound season. 3 weeks away from the sounds. I know. Isn't that crazy?
Well, hold on. Today's so like late March, like
Yeah.
the 25th,
Yeah.
27th.
The end of March.
Wow, man.
I know. We'll be at First Horizon Park. By the way, we're gonna do some videos. Go over there and do some fun things.
I like
I
it.
got some ideas. You got some ideas, I'm
I
sure.
like it.
So it'll be a good time. A lot of people have texted me thanking us for educating them on how to make bread.
Not us, Dr.
Dr. Crane.
You're
yeah.
welcome, America and Nashville. No, that,
Um,
a lot of people didn't know. That's crazy.
This is our buddy Ricky says sports talk is so boring at times, but when you can make pedal taverns talk funny, that's when you got something good. You're welcome. There you go.
Thank you. You are welcome. So thank you, Dr. Crane. That man, this pedal tavern you could make, have bread for us for everybody like on the trip. Like
Could make bread on the pizza tavern or pedal tavern. Excuse me. Got pizza on my mind.
I always have pizza on my mind.
All right, with that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc., above and beyond industry standards. The only company you need for commercial construction services. Visit them online at jarrettcompaniesinc.com.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list we have here, it's a long list day, so I'll go through them quickly. Benjamin Harrison Day, Courageous Followers Day.
Whoa. What
Oh.
does Benjamin Harrison have to do? I know he's president. Is he on the $50 bill?
Is he?
I never have $50 bills, so I thought he was on the 50.
He
Is
might be.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why are we celebrating him?
I wish I could tell you, Joe.
All right, go
It
ahead.
doesn't give me a description on this one. Courageous Followers Day, Holy Experiment Day, Hug a GI Day. So there's that. International GM's Day. GM's not general manager. This is Game Masters.
No. GMs.
I was going to say shout out to the GM, Floyd
Yeah.
Reese, like great Floyd Reese.
Shout out to our own Sean Fort, man.
Yeah, him too.
GMs. I mean, that's all right.
That's true.
We determine what GMs are. We do that.
You're right. I'm just reading it. Stick to producing. You're right. International Pancake Day. That's next.
Wait, today's it is Pancake Day.
Yeah.
Sorry, we
We
missed the
dropped the
boat
ball.
on that.
We dropped the ball on that.
Yeah.
I made pancakes the other day on the Blackstone. They were very good.
Is that a joke towards me, or is
No.
that serious?
No,
Oh,
I know. I really did.
really?
I
I'll be
finally
darned.
did. I not tell you? I got a Blackstone. Finally
Congratulations.
got one, and all I do is cook on the Blackstone. So it's awesome.
You get addicted. I tell you, it's
Yeah,
great.
it's-
International Scrapbooking Industry Day is next. March 4th Day, Marching Music Day, Mardi Gras, obviously. National Dance the Waltz Day. That's a nice dance. National Grammar Day.
It is National Grammar Day.
National Snack Day.
Oh yeah.
National Suns Day. Shout out to the Suns. National Sportsmanship Day. National Pound Cake Day. Love me some good pound cake. Let's see.
The Van
National
Halen song.
Yeah. Right.
National Peace Corps Day. Old Inauguration Day. That was formerly in 1933, I believe.
Yeah, we get it.
Let's see. National Ponchestiki Day. It's a Polish snack. It's for Mardi Gras.
Sure.
Let's see. Toy Soldier Day, Unique Names Day, and World Obesity Day.
All right. Well done there. By the way, March 4th, it's the only date that's a complete sentence.
Nah, that's true. March. I see what you did there. And by the way, everybody's saying Grant is on the $50 bill.
See, I didn't know.
Yeah, Ulysses S. Grant.
Okay.
And tomorrow in Beware the Ides of March, is that the 5th or the 8th?
Look, what are you asking me for? I went to
Oh.
McGavick. How the hell do I know?
Let's get to
I just
celebrity
knew where the
birthday.
smoking porch was. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Get it within two. Our first birthday is Patricia Heaton. She was on Everybody Loves Raymond. Patricia Heaton,
62.
70.
67. The very funny Steven Weber. He was on Wings.
That's a
He was
great
on
show.
West Wing. He's been on 1,000 different things, but Steven Weber.
What was he on the West Wing?
He was one of the bit players during the last part of the seasons,
Oh,
not early on.
64.
65.
64 exactly. Chase knows his bit players. Patty Kinsett.
I don't know my Bitcoin though.
No good. Patty Kinsett. Today's her birthday. She was Mel Gibson's girlfriend in Lethal Weapon 2. The cute blonde.
Yeah. 65.
67.
57. Let's go with this here. Actress Catherine O'Hara. She was the mom in Home Alone.
Yep.
She was in Schitt's Creek. A few other things. Catherine O'Hara.
72.
70.
71. That's a push. Bubba Gump. Michael T. Williamson. How old is Bubba Gump today?
64.
68.
68 exactly.
Nice.
We're tied at 2. Former Metallica bassist Jason Newsted.
58.
60.
62. Dr. Crane's up 3-2 as we move on down here. So who else we got here? People, TV personnel. Never heard of you. Never heard of you. Never heard of that one. All right, birthdays. Sports birthdays. Peter Jacobson, the golfer.
47.
53.
71.
Nice.
Boom Boom Ray Mancini. How old is the great boxer Boom Boom Mancini?
81.
83.
64. God, you guys are terrible. Former Phoenix Sun guard Kevin Johnson, who became the mayor of Sacramento. Kevin Johnson.
63.
68.
59. I think this guy was Chris Sanders' teammate at Ohio State, Robert Smith. Former Vikings running back.
54.
50.
53. We're tied at 3. We've come to the last birthday. I like this. You guys are great. How old is Draymond Green?
38.
34.
Oh, my goodness. At the buzzer. He is 35. Nick wins. Dr. Crane. 4-3.
Well
Thank
done.
You guys have yesterday was 2-2. Today it's 4-3. The other day it was 3-1.
We're just gonna build up.
You guys need to start practicing more. This is ridiculous.
Pay-per-view right now.
It's ridiculous.
All
David
right.
James wouldn't let this happen.
No comment.
He
No,
wouldn't.
no comment. Just shaking his head.
He wouldn't do it. Not at all.
That'll do it for us today.
Hey, listen, there's going to be maybe some bad storms later on. So keep your eye to the sky. And that goes with what we talk about all the time. Sometimes you go through some things that are bad and you got to find your way through it. The last thing I need you to do, though, guys, is to give up. Please don't give up. Know the storm is only temporary and beautiful skies are waiting you ahead. That's why we need you here on your cell phone. You can dial 988. You can text 988. Talk to somebody. Please talk to someone. Whatever you're going through, there are people here that will talk to you and listen to you. We need you here. Our world is a better place when you are here. And as we always say, know that we love you. More importantly, more than anything else, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game.